What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video on Pure Panorama. We are going to be trying to hopefully do the daily thing again. I know we've been a little slow over the course of the last couple weeks, and that's honestly because A, I just needed a break, B, there really wasn't much going on with the truck. I was just working out some small kinks and just things that we've already filmed and done, you guys have already seen. But I do have some stuff still on the list that we need to do, so hopefully this week we are able to get you guys a video almost on a daily basis and stick to that schedule here for maybe the month, for the foreseeable future. I don't know, we'll find out. Right now though, let's take a quick look at these 7-inch aux beam LED light bars that we just installed in the front bumper yesterday and get a good look at those now that we have some good daylight. It is about mid 40s, high 40s here in New York right now. All the snow that we just got is melting off. It is gorgeous, so no better time than now than to spend out in the garage and trying to hopefully, with any luck, get this power steering pump flushed out, get new power steering fluid in the 24 Valve Cummins, and see if that will help our slow returning brake pedal after we get that fresh power steering fluid in the truck. If it doesn't help, then whatever. We needed the new fluid anyways, so we got that done, checked off the list. It's behind us, and we can move on to maybe getting the master cylinder installed with a new hydro boost and keep on going down the line from there. If that doesn't do it, then we go to the power steering pump and replace all of it. Hopefully that's not the case. Let's check out these 7-inch aux beam LED light bars real quick. So again, I got to send out a huge thank you to the guys over at aux beam for sending me these 7-inch LED light bars to mount in the front bumper. They are what I think is a perfect fit right there in those two holes that we have on these second gen bumpers. I might have been able to go with like an 8 or a 9 inch. I think whatever size is next up from these, I think they do make like an 8 or a 9 inch. Probably could have squeezed one of those in there, but I didn't want to block off the hole completely so that we could still get some airflow through there for our coolers and let that air also go up into the intercooler and the radiator as well. So that is why I opted to go with these 7-inch LED light bars, and then you can see the two little 4-inch LED pods down below, which I may just disconnect or I may wire into the same switch as these 7-inch bars so that they all come on at the same time. If you guys haven't seen the light bar install video yet, that was the last upload. Be sure to go and check that out. And really quick before we pull the truck in to see if we can't get one of the power steering return lines popped off, I got a bone to pick with you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. If you are here and not subscribed to the channel yet, but you keep coming through to watch the videos, then you should just click that subscribe button and become a family member here on Pure Panorama. I know that a lot of guys who come through and watch the videos on a consistent basis, on a regular basis too, are not subscribed to the channel. So if you guys are one of those people who are just coming and watching the videos, but you're not subscribing, definitely think about doing that, hitting that subscribe button, becoming a family member so that you don't miss out on upcoming videos and things that we are going to do with the truck. Enough chit chat though, let's get this freaking 24 valve beast in the garage and see if we can't get one of these return lines disconnected from the power steering pump and, well, jack up the front of the truck and see how this whole flushing of the power steering pump will go. If you remember in the end of last video, I asked everybody if you knew what this might be for, and this is to put onto our power steering pump once we pull our return line off. This is a 3/8 inner diameter piece of fuel line, and that is what you would use in turn to replace your power steering return lines if you had to replace them. The inner diameter of those lines, I believe, is 11/32, and it's real hard to find an 11/32 inner diameter hose at the parts stores from my understanding. I don't know, I haven't looked. So what guys do is go and get a 3/8 inner diameter hose like this from the parts store, or in my case, I ordered this fuel line in for the Fast Platinum 150 and the 24 valves fuel system. I got this from Diesel Auto Power a little while back, and luckily I just had this little chunk laying around from when I changed some stuff up with my big line kit and was tightening up my fuel returns. And why you need this when you're pulling off your return lines is because typically they are such a tight fit on the fittings of the pump or the steering gearbox that it's hard to just pull them off and be able to save them. So you usually have to slice the ends to relieve the pressure in order to get that line disconnected. And sometimes you can slice it and still have enough slack in it to reconnect it, but other times you're not going to be so lucky depending on how many times you have to disconnect it. So you're going to get to a point where you end up having to replace it, and that's where the 3/8 inner diameter hose is going to come in. In my case, it's looking like my lines have already been disconnected once. I can tell that from the hose clamps that are currently on them, and you can tell that it's a return line that you're disconnecting because it will be this rubber style hose with a hose clamp on the end holding it in place on whatever fitting it is pressed onto. The high pressure lines or the pressurized lines are going to be more the metal lines with the metal connections on the ends. They're not going to have a hose clamp holding them on. So when you're doing this job, you want to make sure you're looking for a line to disconnect that has a hose clamp on the end of it, and that's how you know that you're pulling a return line off from your power steering system to flush it out. So for this one, all I did was stick a bolt in the end of it and then put a zip tie around it to hopefully hold it in place so that I can stick it over the fitting on the power steering pump once I disconnect that return line, and hopefully we won't lose fluid out of that or lose fluid out of it as rapidly as we would if it was just left wide open, and that will kind of deter all the fluid to go out the return line into a bucket. I'm going to get down here and show you which return line that you pull off when you flush these power steering systems. It's the return line that does run to your steering gearbox, so it's the easier one to get to, and it's right there. You want to disconnect it from the power steering pump side, not from the steering gearbox side. And like I said, you might have to make a little slice in it with a knife in order to relieve the tension on it. And then the procedure for bleeding out the pump and flushing it to get the new fluid in there is you jack up the front of the truck to take the pressure and the tension off the front wheels, and you're just simply going to turn the steering wheel from lock to lock, left to right, right to left, not all the way to full lock. As soon as you start to feel it at the end of its throw, then start to go back in the other direction and keep going back and forth while getting out and checking the power steering pump's fluid level. You want to make sure that you don't run that dry, because then you're going to just suck air into the system and be in for a whole nother world of trouble trying to re-bleed it out starting from scratch. And I hear that it can be a pain to bleed it out and get all the air out if you do that. But just like bleeding your brakes, make sure you keep checking the power steering fluid level in the power steering pump, topping it off as it's working its way out and cycling that new fluid through to flush out the old. So let's get down here and show you which return line to disconnect, and then see if we can't get that popped off, and with any luck we'll be able to flush out this old fluid, get it done, get the new stuff in there, put it all back together, and see if that helps our slow returning brake pedal by having fresh power steering fluid in our pump. If the audio sounds different, it's because I'm using my other little camera to help get these shots. But that line you see right there that is folding over right by my washer fluid jug and then wraps up towards the fender of the truck is the line, I'm pretty sure, that you want to disconnect. And that just wraps right up and around to the power steering pump. So we're going to get up top, see if we can't get that hose clamp off of there, and see if that line will pull off. I'm going to touch the flashlight to the line that you want to disconnect, which would be this one right here. So you can see that I already have a different style hose clamp on there, and it looks like somebody's already pulled these lines off. Possibly to change the power steering pump on this once before would be my guess, but you see the difference in the connections. This is a pressurized line, and then you got the metal line there, and then the return lines are in fact those rubber hoses with a hose clamp on them. So that's how you tell the difference between those and know which line to pull off of there. And to know exactly which one, you just want to trace it and make sure that it's the line that runs to your steering gearbox, which is this guy right here. So there you go, we got our little chunk of 3/8 hose with the bolt zip tied in the end over that return fitting on the power steering pump, and then I pulled that other return line right onto the other side of the frame right here, so that when we jack it up and we turn the wheel, it will push that fluid right out of here into this bucket underneath, and we can keep filling new fluid into the pump until we are done. We can reconnect that and we'll be in business. So you can see right there that this is definitely long overdue and needs to happen. So we got to get that shit out of there, and that'll get us fresh fluid in through the hydro boost booster, in through our steering gearbox, and well, yeah, this is just long overdue. Holy crap. We got both front wheels up off the floor, just enough to be able to turn them back and forth, lock to lock. We got our return line run towards that bucket, so hopefully it will spit that fluid right into there. Got our jack stands under each side of the truck just for safety, because I'm going to be hopping in and out of there to turn the wheel, and then just left our jack in place there in the center of the axle, just as a third form of support. So what I'm going to do now is hop in the truck and start to go ahead and turn the wheel and get out and check to see how much it spits out, how much fluid drops, and keep topping that pump off until we look like we're getting clean fluid. And then we're gonna hook it all back up and do one final burp of the power steering system to hopefully make sure that there is no air bubbles left in it, and we should be good. We should be done at that point. Alright, I had to take a brief intermission, go and pick up a Christmas tree and get the daughter out there so that she could go pick out the tree that she wanted this year, and we got that done and over with. And now I'm back, so we're going to wrap this one up here and call it good. I will show you the power steering fluid that came out of the power steering pump and the Hydro Boost and the steering gearbox, and this stuff straight looks like muddy water. The problem being is that the new fluid that we put in is kind of looking dark already too, so I think just the inside of the power steering pump must just be caked or filthy or something, so we might have to do another flush. Now that we got this stuff out, we'll let this power steering fluid kind of work itself through and do its thing. Maybe it'll collect more of the junk, dirt, and grime inside there. And because that was so easy and quick to do, we'll pop that 3/8 line off of the power steering pump again and maybe flush it out some more with another 2.5 quarts or so is probably what it's going to take. So I'll pick that stuff up sometime this week. And like I said, one night this week, we can pull it into the garage, pop the line, and lock to lock until we feel like we've pumped all that crap out of there and we have good, clean, fresh fluid. Hopefully that will do it and clean the inside of the pump out a little bit too. I did, however, notice a slight change in the brake pedal after we were out on the road going to the Christmas tree place and the grocery store. It still has a slow return to it. When I let off of it, it still returns up to the top a little slow, but it's not as slow as it was. So I think we might be making a step in the right direction here with the fresh fluid. Maybe if we do one more flush, it'll make it slightly better again. I don't know. We're gonna have to find out. So we'll definitely do a second flush on it here in like maybe a couple weeks or a month. Let this stuff run through and then see where we're at. Worst case scenario is, well, we have to disconnect all the lines and pull that old power steering pump off and replace it with a new one, which, by the way, would be a Borgenson high flow power steering pump because, well, that's the only way to really go. We got the Borgenson steering shaft in there, might as well put the high flow power steering pump on there as well. And while we're at it, I guess it wouldn't hurt to get the Hydro Boost replaced and throw on that new master cylinder. There's the nice clean power steering fluid that came out of the truck though. Look at that, man. It's as dark as the oil. That stuff is absolutely filthy. Look at the side of the bucket there. When I do that and let it come down, just freaking brown, orange, nasty, muddy crap. And like I said, we still have to probably pump a little bit more through. It still looked a little discolored towards the end there, but I was just running out of fluid to keep pushing through it, and I needed to make sure that I could fill the power steering pump up and be able to drive the truck. But we did get a lot of it out of there, a majority of it, so we got a lot more clean fluid in there now than what was there, obviously. So like I said, we'll grab some more and we'll run a second flush on it. Let's let this new fluid cycle through there a few times and hopefully it will just pick up some more junk and grime, and we'll get another bucket like this out of that whole system until we have hopefully just clean fluid in there, point blank period. But that is that. We're gonna wrap this one up, guys. Do me that favor and hit that thumbs up button for me on your way out. If you guys are new, stopping in for the first time, or just stopping in to watch the videos and not subscribed yet, hit that freaking subscribe button, join the family. We are getting stronger on a daily basis, and you should be a part of the family here. Do not forget to check out the links down in the description. I still get all you guys asking me on Instagram in the comments for part numbers, for tools, where I got tools that I use. It's all listed down below, and if it's the wrong part or you need a different version of it for a different year truck, just let me know. I will dig that up for you. I have no problems doing that, and we can go from there. But all of them are down there. I took the time to make those links for your convenience, so check those out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.